From the halls of CHS, this is PBC News.
Good morning, Centralia. Up first in our broadcast today is Sassy, who is brought to us by the Central Missouri Humane Society.
Sassy is a 6-month-old American Pit Bull Terrier mix. She was surrendered by her previous owner because they had too many animals. She's a sweet girl who is a little shy at first, but warms up to you after a while with lots of puppy kisses. She loves all toys and really enjoys playing with other dogs.
According to the American Cancer Society, there will be an estimated 1.6 million new cancer cases diagnosed and 600,000 cancer deaths in the United States. The CHS Senior Service class, under the direction of Mrs. Jill Angel, are trying to help combat these statistics with the annual Relay for Life. Here are Kayla Davis and Jill Angel to tell us a little bit about this year's Relay for Life.
I've been doing Relay for Life since I was in 8th grade, and this year I finally get to help organize the whole thing.
Through Relay for Life, I've realized I know a ton of people that have fought this disease, so I think it's made me more aware of their struggles and their battles.
We have to write everything out and plan every aspect of Relay for Life, including the people we have to have come, speakers, different activities we have everyone do.
We're going to have an inflatable. It's not a bounce house, but an inflatable, so I think that will be fun.
We have line dancing that is going to happen, which I'm leading along with Mary Motley.
And we're having some line dances, and so I think that will be very entertaining.
We have square dancing with Chief Dungeon.
Square dance with the chief.
Flag football out on the field. We're going to have glow-in-the-dark bowling.
So just encourage everybody to come out. You don't have to stay for a long time. You don't have to stay 6 to 2. You can come from 6 to 7 and go home, or come 8 to 10 and go home. But put a couple dollars in your pocket in case you find something in a booth you want to buy, or even just donate to a team, or maybe purchase a silent auction item. So just really encourage people to come out and see what it's all about.
If you have any questions, you can ask anyone in Senior Service or Coach Angel. Just try and get teams that help support American Cancer Society. All the money goes towards them, so it's a really good cause.
We hope to see you at this year's Relay for Life on April 22nd. Next up is a look into Hog Haven BBQ, which is located off East Railroad Street.
Today we're going out in our small town of Centralia, Missouri to find some killer barbecue here at Hog Haven. So how did your business start here in Centralia, or whether that be your barbecue sauce or your just normal open up barbecue business?
Started catering probably 12 years ago, and actually that was just accident because all the stuff we did was backyard type stuff, and everybody was telling me how good it was. So I'm a member of the National Turkey Federation in town, and they asked me to cater the banquet one year, and I catered that, and it's done them a bunch of them since then. So
Since you've opened up, or what's your specialty?
the brisket goes over better than anything. The ribs are right there with it. We sell out of brisket and ribs every Friday, but the big thing is pulled pork nachos. So we make them as fast as we can make them, and still backed up. So that's until my arm gets straightened out, we're not doing pulled pork nachos.
Where did the name Hog Haven come from?
That's the farm I grew up on, out on the corner of C&T, out north of town. That was my dad's farm where we raised a bunch of hogs and cattle. But the name of his farm is Hog Haven, and that's where this comes from. So.
And do you have a barbecue sauce, I believe? And that's called Full Strut?
Yeah.
And where did that name come from?
Well, it goes back to the turkey banquet thing, and between that and the turkey hunting, and I'd much rather it be called Hog Haven, but being as it's been out for all this time, it's probably going to stay Full Strut.
Yeah.
But
Definitely. Where does your meat come from, and why do you use this brand or certain cuts of meat? Or
most of the stuff we use comes from Pringers, because I like the quality of the meat they get, and if I don't get it there, it comes from a place called Coles. Right now that's where I'm getting the brisket at, because it's a certified Hereford brisket that I never thought would be good, but it's awesome. So.
Do you have any tips for barbecue season for people just hanging around wanting to start a barbecue for a family or get together?
Buy this stuff at Pringers and CNR.
Add it to everything.
Yeah. And my dry rub should be out in the spring, so we haven't marketed it yet, but I think we're going to. So.
Okay. Where do you use wood to smoke anything, and where do you get it from?
Friends of mine live down on the Osage River, and we go down there. Well, I was until bionic arm happened, but we cut white oak and hickory down there. You get plenty of hickory around here, but there's not a whole lot of white oak, so I go down there and hang out with them for a weekend, cut 2 or 3 truckloads, and I go through about a truckload a month.
So it's fresh.
Yes. Well, it's actually stuff that was logged last summer is what we're cutting on.
Oh, okay.
So it's seasoned.
Why do you prefer that over a different type?
The white oak, it's more of a subtle smoke, and I use a little bit of hickory when I'm doing pork. When I'm doing brisket, I'll use pecan, but it's pretty hard to come by around here. But the pecan is the best thing to use for brisket.
Do you have any secrets that you're willing to give up?
Oh, if somebody wants to talk to me about it, I'll tell them everything. It doesn't matter. So it's the main thing about this kind of barbecue is the temperature you cook at and the temperature you take the meat to. So that's what it pretty much all it amounts to.
Okay, thank you for inviting us into the store and
Yep.
letting us try some barbecue today.
Yep.
And we'll tell the Centralia about it. Let
That's
everybody
good.
know it's delicious, and stay local for your barbecue, folks.
Now let's tune into some more good cooking with a few of the ladies in the kitchen. You may see them every day, but you may not know their names.
What do you do on an average day?
Cook, do dishes.
What do you like to do in your free time?
Nothing. Sit home.
All right, guys, pizza for
Do you have any schedule?
Yes,
Can you tell us a little bit about it?
I have 3 boys. They are 15, 13, and 12.
What's the funniest thing that's happened? Where else?
Those two arguing, Patty and Marcy arguing, is probably the funniest thing that happens around here.
Our own Dustin Fasching took to the halls of CHS to ask students and faculty some very important questions.
Hello, this is Man on the Street with Dustin Fasching, and I'm asking people that come to Centralia High School the questions you want answered. What would win in a fight between a taco and a cheese pizza? And why?
I think taco definitely has a win on that one because, well, taco has sharp edges, comes from Mexico. Not saying anything about race here, but definitely taco. It's spicier per se. Mm-hmm.
Hello. Check. Check, check, check. What kind of pizza?
Pepperoni.
What's on the taco?
Ground beef.
I enjoy chicken on my tacos.
Okay.
Thanks for the question.
Okay.
Well, most likely what would happen is that they would probably make friends and eventually they'll probably create a taco pizza. I mean, yeah.
So you're saying that the two amazing foods would join alliances and make one great food? I feel like they already make a taco pizza. It's at Casey's for $5.99.
Yeah, I gotta lean on the taco on that one.
And why?
Well, I kind of think of it as a Venus flytrap sort of contraption in which it pinches the enemy into submission, thus leaving it incapacitated.
Cool. A taco can just swallow the whole pizza.
I think a pizza, because, I mean, you can have taco pizza, but you can't have a pizza taco. So I think pizza wins because it can be both if it wanted to.
Very good answer. Who's your favorite teacher here at CHS?
I'd have to say old Mr. Neely.
And why?
He's definitely the most underrated teacher in the league, and he helps me when I cry.
Interesting. All right, cool.
I had no idea. Too complicated to ask.
I like them all.
Safe.
Mr. Stone,
Why?
because I can pet his head and not get hair stuck in my fingers.
Okay, now that's weird.
Thank you for that in-depth report, Dustin. Mr. Jason Waterman, CHS business leader, has started working with his entrepreneurship class on developing a school store. Peyton Davis and Mary Motley met with entrepreneurship students to learn about that idea.
Mr. Waterman actually came with us with the idea a few years ago, and we are just now finalizing things and getting things started, and we're actually going to start it this year. Being able to unite the school with clothing items, being able to see people walk around with a Centralia t-shirt on instead of Shakespeare's Pizza t-shirts. We're wanting to see more snack items, but the administration really isn't going for that right now. We're trying to, get them down that track. Maybe clothing items. We've talked about having water bottles, extra pencils, things like that. Just things that you would normally see in a school store, like off of a TV show or on a movie. Well, they're using their financial skills. They're gaining interpersonal skills, just basic skills that people need to get jobs and live life outside of high school. We're working really hard to get things started, and we really hope to see you at our school store soon.
I've noticed a lot of kids bringing in lunch or breakfast, you can say, and not taking school breakfast, and I feel like we should have a more available breakfast for kids who can't afford McDonald's every day. I think it would allow kids to not be hungry in the morning and to actually learn better in the mornings because they're not thinking about how hungry they are, and they're not spending as much money as they would if they went to like other places in Centralia. I think the school in general, there's a lot of clubs and organizations that aren't really considered in the school budget as much as sports would be. I think we do need a lot of work. I think it would be cool to add more clubs maybe with the money that we actually make. This would allow for more organization skills for a lot of students, and it would help with business management and common sense with business, and I think that kind of stuff isn't learned in school.
The Centralia Future Business Leaders of America, FBLA, had success at the District Leadership Conference at Moberly Area Community College on Friday, February 3rd. The CHS FBLA chapter had 26 students place in the top 5 in their competitive events, and 31 students place in the top 10 in 45 events. Andrew Reynolds, as head FBLA advisor, is very proud of the group's success. The State Leadership Conference will be held April 2nd through 4th in Springfield, Missouri.
To win our show today, we had reporters Clayton Marty and Shelby Salisbury interviewing winter sports athletes and coaches. We were unable to get a comment from wrestling coach Luke Gramke.
I think we've gotten a ton better. I think our record doesn't show it, but I think from where we started to where we are right now, we're a ton better. I think the future's bright.
It's been going well. I've only lost 2 matches, and I've won like 40.
My season is going pretty good. I'm currently ranked number 1 in the state in Class 1.
And thank you all for tuning in to the Panther Broadcast Channel's 8th consecutive broadcast. And I'll see you next time in Broadcast 9.
Up to you after a while with lots of puppy kisses. She loves all toys and she really enjoys playing with other dogs.